Here we go!
G'day folks and welcome to the Vookcast, Australia's Nintendo podcast. My name's Oliver Brandt and in this episode I'm joined by Michael Goncalves.
Hey team.
Angelo Valdivia.
Hey paisanos.
And Luke Henderson.
Hello there.
We've got a great episode lined up for you today about all sorts of things. We've been off for a little while because of holidays and personal stuff, but there's just so much to catch up on, so we will dive right into it. With Kirby Air Riders. As is usually the case, there's a direct in between when we last recorded and now. And in this case, it was a specific direct for Kirby Air Riders, which was hosted by Sakurai, which was quite fun. It was like 45 minutes long and just went into deep detail and didn't even scratch the surface because we've learned heaps more about it since then. It's Kirby Air Ride, but like dialed up to 11, right? Like it is very much the same kind of game. You select a stage and then select your air machine, of which there are tons now. And then you can. There's so many combinations, so many characters, all sorts of stuff. The game still auto moves forward, so you don't have to accelerate or whatever. But you can also boost and attack other players. A bunch of mini games as well. They can be played online. But the biggest version of it, the biggest game mode, fucking words, is City Trial, which is everybody's favorite game mode in the original, and returns here, and it's just massive. You can do this with up to 16 players online, and there is a split screen multiplayer, which was not confirmed in the direct for some reason. They just kind of made it seem like it was only online. But no, you can do split screen multiplayer on this as well.
That was right. Wasn't it like in the Japanese direct? Because it was slightly different to the English one, and it just for some reason wasn't in the English one. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so you spend a few minutes like just fucking going around the city and upgrading yourself and all of that, and then at the end you get thrown into a random-ish minigame, and have to perform your best, but you don't really know what the minigame is going to be. So you kind of have to hedge your bets on something. So like if you could get a flying vehicle that is like better at gliding, if you expect that it's going to be something like a gliding challenge, or build up defense and work towards that if you expect it's going to be more of a battle challenge. It's looking really interesting. I wasn't super interested in it before because like I have played Kirby Air Ride and it's fine, but like it's nothing super special, I don't think. But I think there's a lot of Sakurai in this game.
Understatement of the year.
Think...
Is it weird that I think that Nintendo spent 45 minutes on this game in a direct? Totally. Am I mad about it? Not really. Like, just watching Sakurai talk about a game is very entertaining. The dude just has so much passion
As I said,
for like what he's doing.
When they announced this, he would spend 45 minutes talking about a single fighter as DLC for Smash.
Easily.
Let alone an entire
I'm
game.
Sure like Nintendo went to him and was like, hey, can you record like a short direct? And he was like, okay, I'll do a short direct, and it like came out 45 minutes. Like that's what happened there.
It probably came out as 3 hours and they cut it down to 45 minutes.
It's because looking at this, like it looks like it's I'm gonna guess that he has his own production team because he did all those instructional videos on game development and things like that and game design, and this looks just like that. So I'd imagine it's his own production team who put this together
Totally
and
the
then
same
just
vibe.
like handballed it.
Well,
over
no,
to
so he
Nintendo.
worked with an outside studio for all that stuff.
Yeah, but
Is
like
it
the
an outside
actual
studio?
video,
Okay.
But he does employ people at Sora to like be a go between him and
Yeah, it's like 8 or 9
these,
people that
external
saw it.
companies.
Not massive.
Yeah.
What I'm getting at is that this looks like this. It looks like the same sort of style as
Yeah.
his instructional videos outside of like what Nintendo would normally do, because Nintendo has all those graphics and that little chime, and then that American dude being like, "Hey, this is what you have to do." Whereas this, like, it's just him talking to a camera.
I mean, it was
he does
very
hard cuts
much
to
like
other
a
games he's
Smash
made.
video. Like all the character announcements and all that type of stuff are all 100% just Smash announcers.
Yeah.
And it's actually being made by the same people who made Smash. The developer is Bandai Namco. I mean, it looks exactly like the art style of Smash. Like, there is no denying that this is like in the same engine.
Yeah,
same
the city
art style,
stage
right?
is literally just the Smash level.
Yeah.
Like,
I want like straight
I'm
up.
curious to know what you guys think. Like, would you consider like Sakurai to be up there as one of the like juiciest game developers
No.
currently going? Kind of like, you know, a Kojima or something like that. Like, just the way that they just understand like game juice, the stuff that makes games so fun, so interesting, just right from the get-go. What do you guys think?
I think he's one of those people that like plays like 600 games a year somehow. So he like very intricately understands what makes a game fun. And like he's just not interested in it if it doesn't make it fun. And that's what he applies to his game development, right? Like, and it shows, right? You can see like there are a lot of games that get developed from people who only play like 1 or 2 games a year because they're too busy to do it otherwise.
Or no games a year.
Or no games a year, and like it shows in the end product. So yeah, I think it like in terms of like having the juice, right? Sakurai's games are 100% up there. But yeah, I also like absolutely no disrespect to Sakurai's wife, but like the UI is so bad in this fucking game, and it is in all of his games. Like it just doesn't look good.
I booted up Smash the other day. I had some friends over who were playing it, and I was like, "Fucking kill me!" This game,
is insane.
the UI is so bad.
So the problem is that's a Japan thing. Like if you go to any Japanese website, you go to not even Amazon is different because it's, you know, an American thing. But if you go to Rakuten, which is like Japan's Amazon, I was there the other day looking at something, just like a tray for the sink. And I'm not kidding. I had to scroll down like a third of the way of the page to get to the product listing because everything above it was ads and other information about their website. And this is not like translated from, you know, in Google or whatever to make it look in English now. This is just pure straight Japanese. You look at their housing market, their rental places, their banks and all that. Like nothing in that country is done for the web. And that carries across to the UI that a lot of these games have because they don't think beyond what they already know, and that's what we get.
I think that's very much a Japanese versus English thing, though, because like if I watch a lot of clips of like Japanese game shows, for example, just, you know, every now and again, and
As you
when
do.
you watch, well, because it's, you know, whatever. I've been doing that since I was a kid. But when you watch it, like there's just like information all over the screen.
Yeah.
There's text, there's little animations, there's graphics, there's sound like happening all over the place. Like it's just an overload of information. I feel like it's just a very Japanese thing to do. Like if you look at game posters and things as well, there's just like so much information there at any given time. Whereas, you know, when it comes to English speakers, we're all pretty dumb. And it's like, no, you have to focus on this one thing, and the letters have to be giant, you know, right across the screen, and that you can only focus on one thing at any given time. Whereas in Japan, it's like boom, 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 ching, 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 boom, 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 all the time.
It's the thing in Korea as well. Just for some reason, my LG TV gets a bunch of like live Korean channels on it. I don't know why.
I mean,
but like
LG TV.
yeah, but like why are the channels just exposed to me? That shouldn't just be something that I get. But like every now and then I tune in, and it's like they will have something just like the news, right? Just the news, and they'll have like 300 like animations on screen and like sound effects happening whenever they do something. Like there was like a story about like a stabbing, and like they had like reaction cams to the reporters who were like in the room, and it's like, dude, like that's so strange.
It's like an anime
so much to look
reenactment
at.
of the stabbing in like in chibi form. And you're like, okay.
There's just so much to look at.
Yeah, but it is just information overload, which is definitely on display in the UI in Kirby Air Riders. Anyway, that is coming out in November, on November 20th, which is a little bit later than I think a lot of people expected. I think most people were expecting this to be like a September or October game.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking this would be the first week of December. I honestly thought they'd just send this out to die, basically.
I thought that this would just be a little bit earlier, so Prime could be later, like a little bit later, like, but not December. Because now I'm like, Prime 4? Hello?
Yeah, when are we going to hear anything else about that game?
So
I
yeah,
mean,
I'm
it
slightly
would be-
scared.
Yeah, it would not be unprecedented to put like a game in the same month as Pokemon. That has happened in the past. So, we'll see.
Well, so what's the rest of the year look like for Nintendo games? We've got a Pokemon game. We've got this. There's something else that I'm missing.
They're the only two that have dates.
And then there's presumably Metroid.
Yeah.
And we're already in September.
This is so intriguing, right? Because I think Nintendo's putting so much effort into this release, which is great. Like, I think they should be proud of what Sakurai's doing. But like, at least like in the Western world, I can't see this selling really big.
No.
Like at all.
And I think,
I don't know.
yeah,
My biggest gripe
I could see it being like largely niche. Sorry, Luke.
That's fine.
Yeah. Like, I think it's going to be big because all the old like fucking GameCube Kirby Air Ride nerds are going to get it.
Yeah, all the GameCube sickos. Yeah, they'll come out of the woodworks.
Yeah, right. Which are like, in their fucking prime gaming times. That makes sense. And there's going to be, just a large population of people that just have a Nintendo Switch to they see a Kirby game like, oh, this is cool, whatever. But like, I don't think it's going to be big.
I think
like,
it was
all.
very strategically placed exactly 1 week before Thanksgiving and Black Friday. Like, it comes out the week before. There'll be ads everywhere for it in store. So like, when people go to do their insane American Black Friday shopping, Kirby Air Riders will be
to
there.
have something to play on that long weekend.
Yeah.
It's a perfect long weekend game.
Yeah, so I think it was very strategically placed in that regard, just to give it the maximum return on investment. But
I guess we'll see. It's also could be just like there's nothing on Switch 2, so everyone's like, oh my god, a new game, I just buy it, and it gets sales just because people want something to play.
yeah. Alrighty. Speaking of Pokemon, I mentioned that just before. Weirdly, Pokemon Legends ZA has a 4-player arena deathmatch mode. So as we know, there is the combat system in Pokemon Legends ZA is what's the word I'm thinking of? Like, it's an action combat system, right?
Real time.
Instead of turn-based.
Yes.
Real time.
Real time battles.
So it's real time battles. And because of that, they can just throw everyone in an arena and have them beat each other up. That's what they're doing. They have a 4-player thing, and everybody goes in with their full team of 6 Pokemon and beat the shit out of each other, and whoever gets the most knockouts wins.
Honestly,
Which
this
is a wild concept for Pokemon.
The biggest evolution in Pokemon battles since the original Red and Blue. Because
it kind of is.
Every Pokemon game, every mainline Pokemon game anyway, it's always been turn-based battles. Obviously, we knew this was real-time battles, right? But I don't think Arceus had battles, but every other game, when you wanted to battle someone, it was still turn-based battles. And then with this one, I think many people had expected that the battles online would be turn-based still, because it's Pokemon. And the fact that this is not, and obviously we have Pokemon Champions next year, and that looks to be more traditional, if you will. So the fact that this is a huge shake-up. It's still not going to get me to play the game, but it's a great little thing, I think, for it.
Yeah.
I'm just watching the video. Sorry, go. You finish it.
I was just going to say, like, I don't know if you guys have seen the new Mega Pokemon that they've announced, but they are kind of hilarious and great. Like, Mega Dragonite is like whatever, but then they had like Mega Victory Bell, which is like a big old silly ball, and Mega Holucha, which is just like full on fucking award-winning luchador. They're doing really fun designs for it, which I think is nice. Michael, what were you saying about the trailer?
Yeah, I'm just watching the trailer for it now, and like, for a game about fucking like battling monsters, the game looks so fucking bland. Like, it's like visually, I mean, like not gameplay might or whatever. I don't give a shit, but like just from a visual point of view, it just looks so meh. Like, I would love for them to like do a big change up on how Pokemon looks, because I feel like it's been very samey forever.
Yeah, well, I was saying the other day, people in our Vookcast were talking about it, and I said, my hope is that with Beast of Reincarnation, their Souls-like game they're making for Fictions, the former Private Division group, that it gives them a confidence to use another fucking game engine, and to B, have some actual, sense of pride in designing something that doesn't look like it was made 30 years ago, and they just keep.
They're using their own game engine, I assume, right?
Yeah, it's a proprietary
Yeah.
engine that they've been using since 2011 when they started development on Pokemon X and Y.
Yeah, right.
I will say there are some what I hope would happen someday is they have this art. They have this painterly, hand drawn art style that they used for
Arceus.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and Arceus as well.
Yeah.
But Mystery Dungeon DX, I just posted an image of it in the chat, and it's really nice hand drawn,
that's so nice.
And
Yeah, it looks very
I think something like that could just be super super gorgeous in the main games. And they did kind of do something similar to that in Legends, but they didn't go far enough, I think.
Yeah,
but
we've seen Pokemon games have great art style before. Mystery Dungeon and Arceus have had it. Not talking about this mobile Pokemon Unite thing. That's as generic as you can get. But we see it. Pokemon Cafe Mix has a pretty unique art style. Obviously, it's not a standard Pokemon game, but that's not the point. But there's been countless games where the Pokemon Company have done something different with the art style. It still looks like Pokemon, but it's like Mario Wonder is to New Super Mario Brothers. It's you still can see the connection, but Wonder is just so much more visually impressive. But Pokemon mainline games, they've just not done anything in 20 years. And that's where my issue with the series is lying. And so if they can do, obviously this one's set in stone, who knows when they started development, but if they can do something with the next mainline game to, try something new.
Look, at least they're changing up the gameplay. I'll give them props to that. It's still not for me, and I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind at some point. But at least they're trying to do something different, which I can give them props for.
Yeah.
Something I'm just reading through the list here. How is Silksong not in the news list? It's the biggest game of the year.
Because I don't care.
Let's quickly talk about that.
Absolutely beautiful.
No, honestly, I figured we'd get to it when we get to what we're playing. Because I figured at least one of us is in this group is playing Silksong.
Is one of us playing Silksong?
I haven't updated my games.
Okay.
I haven't updated my games. I am playing it, yeah.
All right, cool.
But we'll talk about it once we get through the rest of the news.
Okay.
Which the next news story, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming to Switch 2. That's it. That's all we know. In 2026, it's coming.
I would never have bet money that this was the first Xbox game, ever. But damn, I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I've not seen the video yet, but Digital Foundry did a video, a tech video for Star Wars Outlaws.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that I've heard and read it's super positive. That they've basically done some black magic bullshit. Which is classic Switch, the impossible port scenario, once again.
But I think that this isn't even the impossible port, right? I think this is the port, right? And anything lower than this is just kind of a shitty port.
Totally.
But Outlaws does. I've been playing that as well. And Outlaws is really solid on Switch too. It looks about as good as the Xbox Series S version, which is fine. Except it runs at a solid 30 FPS. It runs better than the Series S version, which frequently drops into the mid-20s.
The PC version, the lowest specs on the PC version look worse than the Switch 2 version. So
and
impressive.
obviously
genuinely impressive.
It's running better on Switch 2 than any of the handheld PCs because none of them have dedicated ray tracing hardware, and it has required ray tracing global illumination. So, it is a really, really solid port, and I think seeing that, it's okay, basically anything can come to Switch 2 with a few compromises and a bit of optimization. I have no doubt that it can. So. Indiana Jones will probably be.
This is only a 20-25 second trailer, and it's the only visual part they show is an inside somewhere, so it's not the most complicated thing. But it still looks
don't also recall that being in the main game anyway. That sort of room, swinging blades and all that sort of stuff. But that actual room doesn't remind me because I've started playing the DLC.
Is it?
It just came out. And
I was about to say, is it part of the DLC? Not the main game.
Not that I found, but
okay, cool.
Of course, the only
Either
thing
way,
they
I'm
haven't said is
interested to
who's
see
actually doing the
what
port.
more. I'm interested to see what more is coming from Xbox Game Studios, because I think, like, with rumors of a new Forza Horizon game coming, that could
That's a
be
slam dunk.
incredible on handheld.
Especially if
I
it's
wouldn't
in
miss,
Japan.
like with Senua 2 is just suddenly getting, or suddenly it got the, like, I guess remaster, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They updated it, added in new game modes and improved some stuff. Like that might be a candidate for Switch 2.
Yeah, so the day it hit PS5, it got the anniversary update or whatever they wanted to call it.
Which was like a fine game. I don't want to get too far deep into that. Like,
no, that's totally fun. Like, it is a fun game. Like, it's very much not for everybody. Like, it's a game that exists.
It's a super, super gorgeous game. Like, it is visually stunning. I just think, like, there's too much to the gameplay that holds it back. And I really enjoyed the first one more because it did feel more focused, and this one feels just way less focused and more like just appeal to mass market kind of thing.
Totally.
It's like this one feels more video gamey. We could see just about anything coming from Microsoft. There have been like rumors of Flight Sim coming, and I think that would be a really interesting thing to see.
Oh my god, that would actually impress me.
Well,
that
see,
requires
here's the thing.
like CPU power and a half.
And that'll take the entire storage space of the thing too.
Totally.
Well, see, this is the thing. On Xbox Series S, just like the main core components of the game are like actually installed to the console, and then like the graphics and everything else is streamed. Because like that's
you
just
can have that setting on PC. You can just choose to not install everything
because
and
it is such a
stuff.
heavy game.
Yeah.
So I imagine
also just
that
like
would
because
do the
like
same
if you're flying, obviously like you're not loading in a ton of content like very fast unless you're in a fucking supersonic jet. So it really makes sense for this particular game.
Yeah.
But I don't know about for a handheld though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, just that's from a
home.
simulation point of view. Like, it brings even current gen PCs to its fucking knees for the simulation side. So I'll be
I just
very
mean, like,
intrigued.
In terms of how handhelds work, like, being able to take it away from the home, away from an internet connection potentially.
Oh, right, yes,
like,
of course. Yeah, 100%.
It becomes
Definitely.
trickier.
I will give it. I'll give them this. If Flight Sim does come over, that means the Sobo Studios have got their engine on Switch too, which means that the Plague Tale series could come over, and those are great.
Oh, I fully expect the Plague Tale series to come over. I think they.
Oh, I fully do too.
With that going forward, so
maybe this rumored September Direct will reveal all.
Maybe. I have big expectations for that.
Classic Direct getting announced in 5 minutes after we finish recording. So let's just do it.
Was the first one not released on Switch already?
It was by
Plague
Cloud.
Tale?
It was.
It was Cloud only.
Yeah, good old Switch Cloud games that definitely came to Australia.
Same with Hitman 3 and Kingdom Hearts.
One of them did.
Yeah, true.
One of the Switch the streaming games came to Australia. What was that? That was Resident Evil, right?
The three Resident Evils did.
Yeah.
And then the first one that did it was a game it was made in Melbourne, and it was a Skyrim mod originally. I can't remember what it was called now.
Yeah,
Forgotten something or other.
Game was called. But yeah. Anyway, more Switch 2 stuff, etc. Mortal Kombat Mythologies, Sub-Zero and Special Forces are also coming to the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection.
Everyone was holding out for them. The most important
sick.
Mortal Kombat games.
100%.
Special Forces is only ever released before on PS1, so it's good to see. And yeah, there's online play and just all sorts of stuff. There's 11 games so far, probably more going to be announced. And it's going to be releasing on a full game cartridge rather than a game key card, which
nice.
I don't really give a shit about, but it's nice to see developers using it regardless. Do we know how much that's going to cost, Luke?
No, there's no local price that I'm aware of at this stage. I know Limited Run are doing a release, and that's the one that's going to stores. No. So this is not one
I
of
just
those.
never want to hear about Limited Run ever again. I just fucking hate them.
Good
so
news:
much.
Limited Run games are now at JB Hi-Fi.
I know, this is what, I'm so annoyed because it's just going to constantly hear about them forever to the end of time.
So Limited Run, so Atari, for whatever reason, they don't seem to have any manufacturing capabilities of their own, so a lot of their stuff is just being farmed out to Limited Run to do. So Limited Run are doing the production of them, but Atari are paying for everything. So you can pre-order direct from Limited Run; they'll send it all to you. But they're also doing that stuff straight to stores as well. So it's not like the Limited Run version of it. It's an open pre-order sort of thing that Atari are paying for. It's a weird.
Also, just like
combination.
don't directly give money to Limited Run games ever, right? Like, they're kind of a trash company with all sorts of issues, but like, you know, if you can get it locally without having to pay like shit tons of money and wait like 15 months for it to arrive, if that, you should do that.
Yeah, do the lesser of two evils and give money to JB Hi-Fi instead.
Yeah.
I will freely admit I buy from Limited Run, but I buy just Star Wars stuff, and that's it.
Oh, I have no judgment for anyone that buys it. I just think that they've done a lot of shitty things that annoy me, and I just
100%.
I just like that they exist.
They've delayed one of the things that was supposed to come out in August. They've delayed it 3 times already,
Yeah, not
and they don't tell me
unsurprising.
why. They just keep delaying. So
Whatever we think of Limited Run, and there are a lot of things to think about it, including their quality control, especially for older systems. Like, I've had a lot of issues with their like 3DO and Game Boy.
You mean
Advance
they burnt CDRs for
yeah,
games?
burnt CDRs,
Fuck me,
etc. Whatever you think about them, they're still not as bad a company as Nicalis, who seems to have like largely just disappeared. So, you know, I'll take it somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a new Lego Batman game coming, which is great. Lego Batman is a banger of a series. So this is Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight, which is really interesting. So it's the first new Lego game for Switch 2, and it's only coming to Switch 2. It's not coming to Switch. It's coming to other platforms as well, but in terms of Nintendo,
it's essentially next gen only is the way to say that sort of thing. Yeah.
The combat is much more similar to Arkham games compared to rather than old Lego games. They have really taken a lot of stuff from the Arkham series. It has a lot of like references and like moments from all of the Batman films. So you get to drive like the Batmobile that resonates most with you. If you're a Tim Burton fan, you can drive that, or if you like Chris Nolan's Tumblr, you can drive that instead. And they've got a fun voice cast as well going.
Seeing the Arkham combat in Lego form makes me so happy. It looks so good.
It does look really good. I do like that with Lego games, they're kind of like making them like personalizing them a little bit more rather than just like having
This is the
generic
template,
Lego
and we just
game.
change out the theme. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems to have the comic like Thonk and Thunk stuff and Beth and Bam, which is really cool.
On the map here.
Yeah, thank you.
Do we get a detective mode?
Yes, I saw it come up in the video.
It has detective mode.
It's like, it looks like really cool.
Very good.
Yeah, it does look like an Arkham game, just like in Lego. It looks delightful. Matt Berry is.
Sorry, go ahead, Ollie.
Hold on, just let me. Yeah, Matt Berry is voicing Bane, which is very funny. He puts a very comedic twist onto that. And Shia Matheson is Batman, and Luke has no idea who the hell that one is.
I looked up his IMDb, and it's mostly background voice of, ZZZ, background voice of Wu Chang, background voice of this game, of that game. It's like he hasn't had like the role that if you see that, if you hear the voice, you'll go, oh, that's from that game. He could be a lovely guy. He probably is. I just have no idea who he is my point.
Yeah.
But in terms of gameplay, the game's going to be open world, so full Gotham City. You can go and explore as you want, but as you load up missions, they'll be like little, contained missions. So like you'll do like a Catwoman mission, and it'll be focused on her and all that. So it might be like an adaptation of a comic line like a storyline from a comic for her. Same with like the stuff from the Batman movie with the guy from Twilight. That's the one. He's going to just be a guy from Twilight. But if you do like the Penguin chase with him, with that, it'll be that sequence. So it's not. It's going to be more like the Star Wars Skywalker Saga game that they did recently. So, which I think is cool because they've already done open world Gotham. They did that in Lego Batman 3 many years ago. So I think this is a great way for them to sort of re-explore Gotham in new ways. So,
this looks really good, like genuinely.
Alrighty, one that I'm excited about and a little bit annoyed with, the Rogue Prince of Persia is coming to Switch and Switch 2. So this is a roguelike version of the Prince of Persia made by the people who co-developed Dead Cells and made all of the DLC for Dead Cells as well.
Evil Empire.
Yeah, Evil Empire, that's the one. It launched into early access in 2024 as a PC-only title. And then when the 1.0 release happened a couple weeks ago, it also got a surprise release on PS5, Xbox, I think PS4 and Xbox One as well. But Switch and Switch 2 were also revealed to be coming, but not on the same day. There's no date for its release currently, so it could come whenever. Hopefully it'll be
Maybe
sooner
they
rather than
just
later.
got their Switch 2 dev kit like last week. Probably.
It's possible.
On brand.
Yeah.
So.
But it is at least coming, which is exciting. Because I really like Dead Cells. It is the one and only roguelike game that I enjoy playing. So, I'm really big into it. And this, I have been playing it on PC, and it is delightful. It is just Dead Cells, but it's Prince of Persia themed. Fantastic for that. Luke has written here, if the Sands of Time remakes comes to Switch or Switch 2, it would be 3 games in 3 years, because we had Lost Crown in 2024, Rogue Prince of Persia in 25, and Sands of Time would be ostensibly 2026, but I 100% do not believe that that's ever going to come out. So,
Ubisoft have said that it's 2026, but they also said it was 2021, and then 2021, and then 2022, and now 2026, so who the hell knows?
Yeah. I have zero faith that the Sands of Time remake is ever going to get out. Unless it ends up being a Skull and Bones situation where they are legally mandated to by whatever grants they've received.
I fully expect it will release, just because development, they officially restarted development back in 2024. We're entered into full production, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You guys remember Beyond Good and Evil 2?
Oh my god.
That one, I will say this for that one. After Michel Ancel left, he was the creative director and he's the creative Rayman. When he left Ubisoft, the guy that took over for that, he died suddenly, like 8 months later. So they basically had, a new direction they were going with, and then he died, and they basically put the brakes on everything until they found a replacement.
Also, when they announced that 0% of it had been done, that was just a CGI trailer that they.
Yeah, but that game got
0%.
That game got announced 16 years ago. It's a scam.
2009 was that original trailer, and then we didn't see it again until it sort of relaunched itself at E3.
Yeah, and then they started crowd sourcing art and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah,
I
remember the whole spec work saga.
I want to say Elijah Wood, but it's not him.
It wasn't Joseph Gordon-Levitt's company.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I was like, I know it's not Ashton Kutcher, but it's kind of in that vibe.
Same era of people.
Yeah, same era of people.
That Twilight guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Rogue Prince of Persia, very, very good game. So hopefully it won't be long before it comes to Switch and Switch 2. There's a new Bubsy game coming. It's called Bubsy 4D. And it's being made by Fabres, who made Demon Turf and Slime Sun. Very, very good developers, and this game actually looks really good. They're also making Fabres is making a 3D platformer alongside Bubsy 4D. I think that's good. We may actually get a good Bubsy game.
And if you want to see what a bad Bubsy game looks like, the Perfect Collection launches in a few days as of recording. So.
Yeah, it does. So you can see just how dog shit all the other ones are. I still played Bubsy a lot as a child because I had it on Mega Drive.
Yeah, the first one I think everyone played at some point because it was always available in the rental stores. I know I did.
I only played it because it was one of the contest games on that TV show Amazing. I was like,
yeah,
it looks like so much fun. And then I
played it because it was one of 3 games that my cousin had on SNES. It was Bubsy, Unirally, and the Mario collection, Mario All Stars.
Yeah. That's holy trifecta.
That's quite the collection. What is funny for me is that Rob Paulson voices Bubsy in the first 2 games and all the ads for it, and he's Yakko Warner and all that. And now they've just got some guy who's not even attempting to do the same voice. some random new actor in there, which is fine, but it's like,
I mean, reasonable choice, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Yuka Replayly, another really interesting one. It's coming out on October 9, getting a full physical release on Switch 2. So this was teased for the Switch 2 way back when they announced the release date, or like the release window or whatever for Replayly, where they said it was coming to everything and Nintendo with like a big winky emoji. So no surprise there. So it's launching the same date as the others. If you own the original game on the same console family, so if you own it on Switch, you get the new game for 30% off. If you own it on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, you get it for 30% off as well. And yeah, it's also getting a game on the card rather than a game key card, which again, nice to see, but I don't give a shit about. Yuka Replayly is a really, really interesting game because like when they announced it, it was kind of ostensibly announced as like a remaster, but it's essentially just a complete remake. Like it is not the same game at all. It is a full ground up remake of Ukulele.
you could
And
not
it's
even
actually
consider
quite
it a
good.
director's cut. Like it's not just like they've added 1 or 2 new bits. It's
No, like the general like level progression is similar. So like, you know, you go to the pirate themed world first and all of that shit, right? Like it's the same in that regard, but everything else is like the gameplay is completely different. You start off with like abilities that you unlock heaps later in the original game, and like some abilities that you didn't even have in the original game. They've like cut down on the amount of tedium in the collectibles and stuff. Yeah, it is just a completely overhauled game.
so they went the opposite direction. Instead of going from Banjo-Kazooie to Donkey Kong 64, they went from Banjo-Kazooie and just not to Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah.
That's
How many new
people?
people to the game are gonna think that the bat is called Replayly now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's got like a completely overhauled story too. You get some like backstory and like, you know, lore for Yuka and Lele and how they got to this land and all of that stuff. It's yeah, it's really interesting. I played a preview for it a while back and it is just a completely new game. And really what Ukulele should have been for the first go. Like this feels like a modern take on like Banjo-Kazooie rather than a game trying its hardest to emulate Banjo-Kazooie.
But it's just crazy to me that like they released this game 8 years ago, like right around the time the Switch first came out, and like I'm looking at their list of games on their website, and they've gone and published or co-published a bunch of games, which is great for them. But like for a developer that was all like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna go back to our roots, etc., of what, you know, those old rare platformers are like, and all that kind of stuff. And then they just made 2, and they made 2 of them. One of them was a 3D one was a side-scroller one. Now they're just remaking their first one. It's like, what are you guys doing for 8 years? Like, I get that they're helping publish other games, but they build themselves as being a new studio that's harkening back to the old Rare days, and they've only put out 2 games. And the first one was kind of like met with lukewarm reception. The second one was received quite well. People really liked the second one because it was more like Donkey Kong Country. But then, yeah, like this one, like people were really sort of like, it's kind of there, but it's missing a whole lot. Everything feels kind of dead and a bit of a husk of what Banjo-Kazooie was. And I'm sure this one looks great, but I wonder if they're going to go back and fix some of those issues, or if it will just be kind of like, you know, like you say, it's a remake, but I wonder how much they're going back to actually include and make more interesting of the first one. This, you know, the second time around. I don't know, I just look at all these games where like a game came out, you know, sure, 8 years ago, let's say, right? But like within that time, like game technology hasn't advanced or progressed so much further that I feel like it necessitates like a remake or a re-release of that original game. Something like Shadow of the Colossus, like the original one, when that came out in 2006, and then it got a re-release in 2011 for PS3. Like even then, it wasn't like a remake would made sense because it was coming to a whole new platform that also ushered in a whole new audience plus the HD era of games. But in this case, I'm just like, I kind of fail to see the point. Why not just make a completely new ukulele game? Why try to recapture the first one and make that one good when you could just make a third one and make a better ukulele game? I'm just so confused by that.
Yeah. I think it's rewriting. Like I think essentially they're going to be like, oh no, this is just the first game. But it's a new, better take on the first game. So then, like, if they want to make more games on that, it's not tied back to the first game, which is not great.
But that's my
I
point.
think
It's like,
this
why
is
not just make a
just
third
trying
one and
to
just
rewrite the legacy. And
just move
yeah.
forward? Like, keep
Yeah.
going, guys. Damn. I don't know.
Either
It's
way,
weird to me.
I did enjoy playing it when I played the preview. So hopefully the final game is good and good on Switch too as well. We don't know.
I just
how long they've had
hope
dev kits for,
as a
but
developer they start actually just making games again properly, and not this
Yeah.
one. I'm happy to play this again. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I want them to focus on making games again, not remaking what they've already done, and not helping other developers. That's fine. You can be a publisher, but that should be in addition to your own work.
But also, we see so many like over the years we've seen so many mascot platformers like Banjo-Kazooie, for example. Like there are plenty of those. Why not go back and try to do something else that Rare did, like a Jet Force Gemini? Why not just make like a cool little sci-fi shooter or something like that?
I mean,
Or go back and do something. I mean, I know they didn't make Time Splitters, but Time Splitters was kind of building on the GoldenEye formula. Why not just try to take that a little further and go in that direction with it?
I mean, they
Do something
they
new.
could do a new take on Perfect Dark. Lord knows that's not going to happen anytime soon from Microsoft.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah,
yeah.
that's just me.
So no, fully justified, I think. Alrighty, one more before we get to the big one. 007 First Light. We finally have details for that. It's launching on Switch 2 in March 2026. I think it's March 27, right?
March 27,
on everything. As long as PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. So yeah, we got a bunch of gameplay and shit for it. Game lets you like rely on your instincts. You can overhear conversations and distract enemies and stuff. It's kind of similar to Hitman and stuff, where you're really using the environment and everything around to your advantage. The state of play gameplay that they showed off also showed like driving and you earn instinct points, which you need to use for some of your actions as well. And then there's like some sort of busy work that I don't really think is going to be that interesting, where it's like your smartwatch, you need to find battery to do that. Like that just seems like tedium to me, but whatever.
I fully expect that'll be one of those things where if you're playing on like agent or 00 agent or whatever the difficulty levels are called, that'll be the one like you've got to constantly recharge it. But if you're playing on like the simplest difficulty level, it'll be like not a thing to worry about, which
God, I hope
fine.
so. But yeah, the game has a bunch of like weird addition shit. So whatever. I'm not going to go too into that detail. It's available in the article. But like it's a AAA release in 2026, so it's going to have spreadsheets to keep track of what you get with each edition.
The other thing that's absolutely hilarious is one of these editions is exclusive to Amazon, because Amazon own MGM, who are basically the owners of the Bond franchise. So.
Yeah. So other platforms get a very expensive Golden Gun Collector's Edition, but there's not for Switch 2 because it's coming on a Game Key card. What do we think of 007? Have we watched the gameplay and or at least
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my YouTube watch list. Just haven't had a chance to. But I've heard good things. I can't remember what news outlet said it, but they said it was like they thought it was like a crossover between Hitman and Uncharted, and I'm like, ooh, you have my attention.
It's basically so Hitman is a very slow and methodical game. Basically take that game world mechanics, but give him a shot of adrenaline so he moves faster. It's the best way I can sort of describe it. The only thing that really worries me about this game is when you watch the driving section, and there's a chase and you're chasing somebody through. It's a very like narrow driving area, from what they show. But the thing that really concerns me is that every time he tries to drift, it's like drift. Like there's no you're not like having to deal with the car sliding on gravel or the road or dirt or whatever. Like you're just in it, and it's like, to me that's like extremely scripted, and I don't like that in car chases. The game that did it recently was the Sonic Racing Crossworlds network test. I was drifting in that, and the moment you start to drift, you're in it. Like you just lock in 45 degrees, you're already in that drift. And it's like it feels like I'm not actually doing it. I'm pressing a button and the game does it for me, and that's what I get from this. So
yeah, I mean it looks a lot like something like Uncharted 4 was kind of doing. There's like these little sandboxy areas where you can go about trying to achieve a mission, or not Uncharted 4 didn't necessarily do that, but it had a bit of sandbox of like, you can sort of tackle it in different ways, whereas this like kind of like marries Hitman and Uncharted, and like you might have like certain things you want to try to achieve, and you could probably do some optional things to complete your mission, etc. But then there are those like funneled, more bespoke kind of blockbuster scenes, like you were saying, Luke, with the car chases and stuff, where everything's kind of narrow. You get from point A to point B. There's no time to sort of like do anything in between and do any exploration or anything.
Yeah,
which I think is, I'm not against that kind of game. I definitely think about like Call of Duty, COD Blops from last year, 6 I think it was, where a lot of people were saying, oh, these open sandboxy like spy areas are really interesting, and then I get in there and I'm like, oh, I just want to go back to my like roller coaster Call of Duty games. Like that's what I was there for. I only play one of these every few years. I just want to go there and just blow crap up and just enjoy the thrill. I don't want to like go slow and try to sneak around and take photos and listen into conversations with Bill Clinton and all that kind of crap. Like that's just the least interesting part of a Call of Duty game to me.
You want to murder some civilians in an airport because
absolutely, for sure. But like the thing that really stands out to me about this game is that like everything is just perfectly lit. I can't get past that. Like I look at this game and like everything is perfectly lit. Every single character in the shot has like perfect rim lighting. Everything is golden hour. Everything has reflective lighting, just kind of like like 3-point lighting going in your hair, rim light, you got all that kind of stuff. And it's like, why is everything perfectly lit in this world? Like there's nothing dark, there's nothing to hide in. It's just too pretty to me.
Dark, but that'll be like when they want it to be. But yeah, I get your point. My thing is, and it was the same concern I had when IO Interactive said they were making a Bond game. It's like these guys tried a different thing outside of Hitman with Kane and Lynch. If you remember that series, they did 2 games in that one. And they were fun games, but they were still like, it was like they tried doing more action shooting, but they still used the Hitman engine, and it was like it didn't feel like it didn't connect right, because it's like it'd be like somebody doing a first-person shooter off the Mario Kart World engine, right? It's like, yeah, you could probably have an open world with it, but it's not designed for that. Kane and Lynch was just too fast for that engine, and this is just the same sort of thing. It's like everything is it's Hitman, but it's like trying to be more, and I don't think that their engine is going to give them the freedom to do what they want. And it just, as someone who's a big Bond fan and I love the games, I'm just concerned that this game is going to be by the numbers. It's just going to be a very by the numbers experience from start to finish, and it just worries me that we spent years waiting for it and we get that as the outcome.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see how it turns out in the end. I am very interested to see what it actually looks like on Switch too.
Yeah.
And curious to see sort of how, I don't know, like, because Hitman was fine on Switch 2, but it had some issues that have since been sorted. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Does IOI have a dev kit?
They do, yeah. That's why Hitman 3
they're a step above, like, 90% of every other developer, so...
Yeah. No, I think the dev kit situation is better than many would assume. A lot of... pretty much any developer that you could think of off the top of your head probably has a dev kit at this point. So it's not too bad. I mean, 80%. For smaller devs, it's bad.
I said 80% in that case.
Yeah. Alrighty. The big one. Speaking of people who have a Switch dev kit, Switch 2 dev kit, Team Cherry, Adelaide Friends, Team Cherry.
Oh, that was the next big. Sorry, yeah. Chibi Robo was the next one lined up to me, and you're like the next big news we're gonna talk about. Like,
I did the same thing when he first said it, and I was like, oh wait, no, now I remember. Yeah.
No, so in the time since we recorded last, Hollow Knight Silksong was announced to be getting a release date, and then got its release date and is now out. Yeah, after 7+ years of development, it is finally out.
And
What's
just
that?
under 6.5 years since it was first announced, because it was announced in February 2019, and a little under 6 years since Ollie and I first played it.
Yeah. So it's finally out. You can play it. You can download it and play it. It's like $30.
Australian.
The Australian eShop.
Yeah. For those who aren't Australian, it's $30 Australian, but it's $20 US.
And yeah, it's great. I've been playing it. It is very, very difficult. More difficult than the original game. But apparently, from what I've been hearing from people, it's harder if you have played the original game because like you've got a lot of muscle memory and preconceptions about how it works. So because it's a very different kind of game, it is difficult. But I'm getting my ass handed to me and getting lost constantly, and it's great. I'm enjoying it a lot. I do think, I don't know, maybe my expectations were heightened by the wait, but like it's not quite as big as I expected it to be.
Well,
in the sense that like
yet.
Yeah. Like it's just in the sense that like it is kind of more Hollow Knight, which is fine. Like Hollow Knight is great and I enjoy it. But I think it mostly is just more similar stuff. I think I expected more, evolution than iteration, and it's more iteration, which is fine. Again, totally fine.
It did
Just
start out initially as
maybe changed.
DLC for the first game, so it's probably why it's very similar.
Yeah. It's a fantastic game. I'm glad it's finally out. It broke all of the eShops. Like so the eShop, the Xbox Store, the
like PlayStation Network,
PlayStation Store, and Steam all broke when it released.
That's the rare one. The consoles always have issues. Like not always, but they have issues more often than not. But Steam's generally pretty rock solid. So
yeah, I think
that's because they didn't allow pre-orders.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that there weren't any pre-orders for it, so nobody could preload the game. There was like this big rush. Everybody wanted to get in at once. But I think this is the first and only game to break every single storefront at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Except Epic Games Store, that one was fine, because it's not there.
Well, yeah.
But you know what's going to happen now, though. You know that there's going to be like a AAA developer out there or something like that who's not going to allow pre-orders specifically to try to let this happen, and it's going to be like a big event that studios are going to strive for every few years. Like, oh yes,
I don't know. I feel like the studio shareholder brainworm is not going to allow them to not do pre-orders on a big game.
Yeah,
maybe.
You need the pre-orders to get the FOMO and shit, right? But yeah, I think who knows.
I will say,
it's finally
in our chat, I did make the joke about it'd be hilarious if the stores go down.
Totally.
And I got told, no, that won't happen.
Yeah, I was like, nah, what the fuck are you talking about? That's never going to happen. And then like it happened, and I immediately went to the chat. I was like, well, I was wrong.
Yeah,
there's got to be like an award though for that that's similar to like an EGOT, like just doing the round robin and getting everything.
Yeah,
like taking out every storefront. Just call it something similar.
Yeah,
like, it was genuinely impressive. Like just especially for a game, obviously it is Silksong. It's been hyped for a lot, but it's a small fucking indie game. Like it's not anything like completely insane.
Although we also got the news that the previous one sold 15 million copies, which is absurd.
I think the last one was about 3 million about a year or two after it launched. So
but yeah, it's
like Team Cherry was
million.
Like obviously off 15 million was like already set for life, but now like they're super set for life with this. They're like got proper fuck you money, which is great. Like all the power to them.
Yeah, I think 15 million makes it the best-selling Metroidvania of all time. Like not even close.
None of the Metroid or Castlevania games have ever gotten anywhere close to that. I don't think any of them ever hit double digits in terms of millions.
Yeah. So yeah, really good stuff across the board for Team Cherry and Australia as a whole.
Yeah, but just a reminder that studio is only 3 full-time staff. They have a composer who they've hired, who's also doing music for another game that's coming out soon. Don't ask me what it is. Moonlighter, the second Moonlighter game. He's doing the music for that as well. But they hired artists and stuff to help over the years, bits and pieces here and there. But it's generally just 3 guys doing that game. So.
Well, they've also contracted other smaller studios and stuff like that to do the various ports and stuff. They didn't do them all in-house. Yeah. And Chris Larkin actually also did the audio for the game. He did more than just the music.
So he's doing the soundtrack for that other game. So but it's still just impressive, and it's one of those things that we see it all the time. Like Jeff Keighley last year, he kept talking about last year at the Summer Game Fest show. He kept talking about how Clair Obscur Expedition 33 was made by a team of 30 people, and you watch the credits and they contracted like 17 other studios to help them. It's like
there's like 900 people in the credits to that game.
It's like that's
the whole narrative of being like 33 people. It's like it's a fun narrative, but it's really not line with reality.
But this one, for the bulk of the game, is just the three folks, which is not counting ports, obviously, but just like three folks doing the work. And it's like that's what's impressive about this. I personally don't care about the game at all. I didn't like the first game, so I'm not chomping at the bit for the second one. But yeah, I just think it's impressive how much.
Also, rock solid 1080p, 120 FPS on Switch 2, which is super nice. And you can do
120 FPS on Switch 2 is just the cream on top, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah. And you can
if Hollow Knight couldn't do it, we could basically just discount anyone ever using that feature.
Yeah.
It's also the second indie game in a matter of weeks that has had 120 FPS after Mina the Hollower. So,
yeah.
I'm slightly surprised they didn't drop like a Hollow Knight Switch 2 update, but like, it's not obviously essential. Like Hollow Knight doesn't look like garbage on Switch 2 or anything, but I thought that would be like a little like, hey.
Yeah, I don't think there's bespoke versions of that game for PS5 and Xbox Series X though. I think it's just a standard game still, just on those platforms.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. But that probably requires a lot more work because they're working with Unity, and like transferring between versions of Unity is like really difficult. So, yeah. Anyway, in terms of Nintendo Switch Online updates, Chibi Robo is now on GameCube, which is nice. It's also the first time the game has been made officially available in Australia. Forsaken 64 is also on Nintendo Switch Online, which, fun. Is that on the mature app in Australia, or is it just in other regions?
Mature app
in Australia, cool. And the Game Boy Advance app was updated. In Japan, they got a Game Boy Advance game instead of an N64 game. But they updated our app regardless, and it now has 1080p support in handheld on Switch 2, which is nice because it scales much more nicely now. And there's a fun little Easter egg where if you tilt the analog stick, the left analog stick, while booting up the app, it plays the cute little Game Boy Advance jingle and animation, which is nice. They did the same thing for the GameCube app.
It looks nice, but at the same time, it's one of those things where that was designed on a screen this big, and then when you see it blown up on a 4K TV, you're like, fuck me, just wrong.
It's also like something that you do once, just like see it, and then like because it takes 4 times as long to actually load into the games as the regular one. Yeah.
You didn't mention
just
Go on.
Sorry, I think it's just the NES and the Game Boy app that needs to be updated to the new Classics branding from memory. Is that right?
Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah.
I was going to say the other thing too that the Game Boy app got was button remapping, which is nice.
Yes, it did get full button remapping, which I really like the way that Nintendo's doing the button remapping in those games, because they tie it to function rather than specific buttons. So like if you go into a game and it's like, oh, this is like the dodge button or whatever, it will say put dodge on this rather than like remap X to A. Like the UI for it is really good, and obviously it requires a bit more work to actually do it that way, but still really good that they are doing that work, because we've seen Nintendo be a little bit lackluster with its emulation efforts in the past, so the fact that they're doing so well with it now is really good to see.
They must have hired a fan over at Nerd.
Well, they were actually hiring from the emulation scene.
They've actually gotten somebody on board at Nerd who knows what people actually want. So
yeah, they were hiring specifically for emulation, and like looking into, like, they were like, hey, if you have experience with emulation in the emulation community, let us know. And I'm guessing that they did that because they have seen leaps and bounds in the past year on the emulation stuff. Anyway, we will skip over the games that we're playing because we just don't have time for it today. But dive right into Nintendo 20 questions, where Michael is the game master.
We could do a highlight or two because we're only at an hour.
Yeah, but Angelo has to
that's
go in
right.
like half an hour, right?
Oh, we can do it. We can do a skip.
Okay, well, let's go over the games that we're playing. So I am playing Silksong. Obviously, I'm playing Star Wars Outlaws on Switch 2. There's a couple other stuff as well that I can't super talk about. But I did also take a trip to Sydney recently. There will be write-ups for this very shortly. Where I played a few games, including Final Fantasy VII Remake on Switch 2. Which, God, it's such a solid port. It's so good. It is essentially just the PS5 version of the game running at 30 FPS instead of 60. and like that is totally fine for that game. I like sat down and played the intro. I played the entirety of the intro until you get back to the village or whatever the fuck it's called.
The fight
the
against
city
the scorpion
sector.
mech thing or whatever it is.
Yeah. So like all of that intro, the Mako reactor run and all of that stuff. And God, I genuinely like I got to the end of it and I was like, I need to put this down, otherwise I'm just gonna spend the entire day playing this game. It is such a solid port and it looks phenomenal. Like that was my I've told the story before when I was playing the Switch, like I was playing Breath of the Wild and my power went out. Like I was playing it docked, my power went out. I was like, oh no, I've lost my progress. And then like I picked up the Switch and I was like, I could still play it. And like that was like a big like the Switch moment for me. This feels like the Switch 2 moment for me because like I played this game on my PS4 Pro back in the day, and I played it on my PS5, and now I'm just like playing it on like this tiny thin tablet in my hand, and it is just holding up and looks phenomenal and plays phenomenally. Like it is so good. I also played like Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake, which it's fine. It's the HD 2D remake. I like Dragon Quest, so that was fun. Played the Ivalice Chronicles Final Fantasy Tactics remaster thing. Also quite fun. Other things I can't talk about just yet, but there will be a bunch of previews up there soon. Yeah, Michael, what have you been playing?
I'm still playing Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, whatever the fuck it's called. I think last time I spoke about it, last time I talked about it, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm like near the end, but I think it's going to do that thing where it's going to be like, hey, it's the end, but secretly it's not the end, wink.
It's doing the
and
Lord of the
a
Rings
one
thing.
fucking 100% did it. And I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, it does.
So now I'm in a totally fucking different world, and I'm like, oh man, it's just so many more hours into this. But I will finish it because I'm super enjoying it. Other than that, I got Peak, the PC game, with one of my mates, and yeah, we've been playing it here and there, and it's just ridiculously fun. It's just so stupid. But like, yeah, you get like a new randomly generated map each day. And it's just enjoyable to climb to the top. It's just, yeah, sometimes like great shenanigans happen accidentally, sometimes on purpose. Yeah, nice little survival game. And the game is just so beautifully cutesy. Like, the way the characters walk, the way they look, the way their mouths move when you speak like in game, it's just, yeah, they really nailed the aesthetic like big time.
This is the game that I think I see on TikTok every now and again. Where, like,
you definitely would.
Someone just falls off a cliff and it's what's the word? Proximity chat or something like that.
Yeah, it has proximity chat.
100%. It's it's got so many incredible moments.
Yeah. Luke, you have a very long list. Take us through it quite quickly, please.
All right. So in terms of ones that matter, I mean, played through Echoes of the End. It's a brand new game from a brand new studio. It's fine. It's a very competent fantasy action game. The game has a number of technical issues that hopefully the developers are fixing. And one of them, the guy, I shared the clip with the guys here, but the guy was standing behind me in front of a door, and I interacted with the door, and he goes, "I can't access that door. You need to clear the way." And there was like 3 blades of grass between him and the door, and I'm like, and it got to the point where I couldn't actually do anything, so I had to restart the whole game to get past that section. I had to redo it all over again. But that was fine. It's a very generic fantasy.
So 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah, something like that. I played through Tiny Bookshop, which is literally, as the name says, you operate a tiny bookshop. You don't actually sell anything. You just stand by when the shop's open and people walk in and then they buy and leave. And they might occasionally ask you for help, like a recommendation. And the cool thing is it's full of real world books. So somebody will come in and say, "Hey, I read through Macbeth. Do you have any other plays?" And you'll go through your collection. You might find, Much Ado About Nothing, or you might go into your crime section and find Stephen King, stuff, or you might find, the castles of medieval England, 1400 to 1600, so stuff like that. It's really cool. And then like one of the characters said, "Oh, yeah, I only read books written by women." And this book I was going to suggest is written by Alex something or other. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a woman or not. So I actually had to like Google the author's name and find out if it was a woman, just to see if I could actually recommend that. So that was kind of cool. Played through Rogue Prince of Persia, finished that off ahead of its release. That's fine. It was a great game. I don't like the ending. I think the ending's the weakest part of it. But that's me. Dragon Drive, fucking hell, that's a piece of shit. I'm not sugarcoating that. It's a bad thing. As I said, as I've told people, if they had have added that to like the Nintendo Switch 2 update for Nintendo Switch Sports and said, hey, here's a new game you can play as part of the update, wouldn't have had a problem with it. And I said in my review, I said the game play is fundamentally sounds with the whole motion of moving and shooting and everything. I said, but there's just not enough game to play. It's just so barren.
Because we all thought, like, when they were like doing the trailers, it's like, okay, there's definitely more that they're not showing, and then no, there's not. There's not more that they're not showing. It's just they showed everything about that game.
Yeah,
I think the main problem to me is that, like, I think the gameplay just looks tiresome. Like, I don't want to do that motion over and over again, like forever. Like,
what I laughed at is. You do, I think it's 2 rounds of this, and then back to this, over and over again. And the game goes, cool, now have a break and play these mini games before your next match. It's like, but the mini games do this as well. That's not a rest. As I said, it'd be like somebody doing a marathon and then being told to walk 5 more kilometers back to their car. That's their rest after their marathon. It's like, no, it's not. I've been playing Madden and Tony Hawk on Switch 2. Madden is great on Switch 2. It's not the best game, not the best version of it, but it's still very, very, very playable. And I've been playing through Skate on PS5 for fun. That's not out yet. The early access starts soon. I've been playing the Heretic and Hexen release from Bethesda. And the thing that annoyed me about that is that the Studio Raven made all 3 games in that series, but the 3rd game is owned by Activision, and it's not in this collection because these 2 were published and owned by id Software. But Activision and id are both owned by fucking Microsoft. They could have worked that together to put the 3 games in the collection. And I played Gears of War Reloaded, and that somehow is getting worse and worse. The AI in this game is so bad. At one point...
sounds like Gears of War.
I was going to say, I think that's just Gears of War, buddy.
No. This one, at one point in the mission where you have to lead the Berserker out to use the Hammer of Dawn, so you have to like lure her away with sound, Dom would run out the door where she was on the other side of this door frame. He'd run out, turn around, run back in. She'd slap him a few times. He'd fall down, stand up, and run back at her. And it did this for like 5 minutes. I was just watching it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, legit. I'm pretty sure that's just Gears of War. Like, I remember having so many problems with that Berserker fight, like multiple times.
I know I had problems with it as well, but
broken.
Just nothing like that. But just across the board, and this is the 3rd time I've played through this campaign. It's like it's not getting better. It's getting worse with age. It's just not.
I also love that you were like, oh, let me just go through the highlights and then went through every single game that you played.
I've got more games that I've been playing indie DLC as well. So,
oh my god,
the indie DLC is just amazing so far.
Like how Luke starts like shit talking like this big buff dude from fucking Gears of War, and then starts getting a phone call. That was so good. Angelo, take us through the things that you've been doing.
Yeah, I'm still playing Borderlands. I think I checked in with that last time. My partner and I are still playing that co-op. It's good fun. I kind of wish that it was on an uncapped frame rate still, just playing it at 60 FPS to just make things run a little smoother. But that's okay. We watched the movie for the first time last night. That movie's hot trash. I highly recommend it. Like it just looks like garbage, but whatever. If you just want to watch a bad video game movie, there it is. But I've also been playing Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story on Delta on my phone, using the Backbone controller adapter. That game is so much fun. I really enjoy playing that. It's mostly my toilet game when I'm at work. I just take that in with me and that's it. But then I've also just been taking it to the gym and playing it while I'm doing my leg days, which is good fun.
Hopefully not when you're doing stuff on the toilet at the same time. You're not like getting confused and doing both.
Yeah, man. That's the only way you get a double workout for your core. Absolutely. But yeah, no, it's really good fun. Like I think playing DS games on phone is actually a really good way to do it these days. The screen is bigger. The only downside is that playing on the higher end iPhones is a bit of a bother because you got that goddamn dynamic island in the way of everything. So you can either have it obscuring your top screen or you can have it obscuring your bottom screen. You can't really resize the screens to have it like when you're playing with Backbone, at least because it's in landscape mode.
Totally.
When you have if you have an adapter, because you can buy adapters that put the phone in portrait mode and connect the backbone. I just don't have anything like that, and it's a bit of a dick around to get that set up. But if you do it that way, then you're pretty much set because that dynamic island doesn't obscure anything. But yeah, sorry, Michael, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I just felt like that's a bit of a design flaw. Like they should just have an option to make the screen smaller in the app.
It would be good. I think there are skins that you can
seems
do
like
that with.
such an easy feature to add, but yeah.
Yeah, you just make the screen just that tiny bit smaller diagonally. And I think there are skins that can do that, but
there's also emulators on PC and like Steam Deck. I don't know if this is the same. It allows you to like make one of the screens like super tiny. So you don't really even, because 99% of the time you don't really need it.
That's what
you can do that here as well. There are some skins that do that. I'm just a bit of a dick, and I like having both screens sort of the similar size. Particularly for games like Mario and Luigi, where you are sort of navigating with the bottom screen, or it's a map or something like that. Or I was also playing some Pokemon Soul Silver earlier this year, and you do use the bottom screen to like navigate your inventory and your Pokemon party and all that kind of stuff too. But like it's still great. Like I still highly recommend playing it that way. It's still great fun. So yeah, that's me.
Alrighty. Now we're up to Nintendo 20 questions. Michael, you are the Game Master.
I'm the Game Master. I am ready to go, and I definitely didn't do this just as we started recording. But it is a game shared by one of our listeners.
Nobody's going to believe you.
One of our listeners in the Vookcast Discord. So thank you, JD Phoenix, for sending through some suggestions. This is a good one. So
that
go
is
for it.
bit.ly/Vookcast Discord, by the way.
It is. Angelo, do you want to start us off with a question?
Yeah, the usual. Was this game originally released in the 90s?
Yes, it was. Good start.
There we go.
I'll ask this question just to clarify to get around Ollie. Was this game originally released on the 90s, not on Nintendo platform, but then released on a virtual console service later?
Oh my god!
I really ruined the game with that.
No, that's not a serious question.
Yeah, thanks. I got it.
Was this originally released on a handheld console?
It was not.
Okay.
Was it released on the Super Nintendo?
It was released on the Super Nintendo.
Ooh, getting fancy. I might just insert that clip from Brooklyn Nine-Nine of the captain. Don't try. What did he say? Don't try and convince me with your use of twas or whatever it was.
You will not win me over with your use of twas.
All right. Was this game published by Nintendo?
This game was not published by Nintendo.
Was this game an RPG?
Game's not an RPG.
Was this game developed in Japan?
It was not developed in Japan.
I want to ask this question now. Is this game available in the Super Nintendo app on Nintendo Switch?
Oh shit. I don't think so. Unless I've really... No, it definitely isn't.
Okay.
100%. I'm going to double check me, but
I mean, you can look it up for if you just tell us what it is. We can look it up.
Nice. Unless my Google Foo is failing me, no, it is not.
Okay. Angelo, did you ask if it was an RPG?
I did.
And he said no?
It wasn't.
Okay.
Yep.
Does this game feature weapons? Like what we'd consider to be weapons? Yeah.
It sure does.
Is this game played from a 2D side-scrolling perspective?
It is.
That knocks out my thought, which was Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Sort of top-downish.
Oh, did you ask if it was made in Japan, Ollie?
I did, yeah.
And it's not, yeah.
Is this a licensed game?
It is not.
That's 10. Okay. So 2D game with weapons.
I only got 9. Did I miss one?
Yeah.
We have 10 questions and a guess.
I'll add it back in. I'm not fast.
Unless I missed one, but take it.
So 2D side-scrolling game with weapons, not made in Japan, not an RPG, not licensed. Is the developer?
Would you consider this?
Sorry, go ahead, Daniel.
Oh no, you ask yours. You ask yours.
I was going to say, is the developer of this game still around?
Yes.
Would you consider this game a platformer?
Yes.
Platformer with weapons.
Well, that happens. Like Shantae.
It's like a Contra. Those kinds of games, right?
I would say Contra is a running gun rather than a platformer, but yeah.
Jumping on platforms, brother.
running and jumping on platforms and gunning off platforms.
No, but the what was it? The Aladdin game as well. You have a weapon there, so weapons can be anything really.
Yeah.
Any game with ninjas, and there are a lot of those in the 90s.
True. It's a tough one.
What are some other? So, it wasn't developed in Japan.
No.
So, what are some other action-based kind of side-scrolling games that came out of like the US and Europe?
Good question.
I can't think of anything that Rare did.
Well, they were all published by Nintendo. We know it's not published by them, so.
Wait, did you ask that? It was not published by
that was
Nintendo.
my first question. Was it published by Nintendo?
Sorry. Yep. Okay. All right. So yeah, it's nothing that Rare did. Well, who else was making games of that ilk?
Capcom did a lot, but that was Japan. But outside of Japan, there was some Ubisoft stuff,
But,
like Rayman.
like, it can't be Infogrames because Infogrames doesn't exist anymore.
Well, it does now though.
Yeah,
Infogrames is back.
The same with Acclaim.
They're back
Pog
in
form?
Pog form.
Yeah, no, we're gaming again. Yeah.
I mean, it could be an
Okay.
Acclaim property because they're coming back.
Mhm.
It'd be hilarious if it was Bubsy.
I don't think there are weapons in Bubsy. Maybe there are.
Can you throw yarn or something?
It's not a weapon.
I mean, you throw it, so technically it's a weapon.
I asked if there were weapons in the game rather than do you attack people or is there combat?
So, note to self: I can throw yarn at Ollie all day long, and I'm not attacking him. Good to know.
Well, no, you
We can
are
ask if
attacking me. You're just not using a weapon.
Can I ask if the game was popular? Although that's subjective, but we could ask if it was well received.
Mm.
I think that's a good one.
Was the game well received?
Yep, definitely was.
Okay. Don't know how that helps. Thinking about it now. Why am I blanking? Anyone got any names of some games that fit the mold that we can just throw out there to get the brain juices going?
No.
I think it's
exactly.
it's either made in Japan or it's a license.
Yeah, same. I can't think of any originals.
This is definitely a good one, and it's definitely doable. It's not
Yeah, sure.
I don't doubt that it's doable.
Were there any Disney games that weren't
Well, it's not
licensed? But that weren't
But
licensed.
Disney made some of the games themselves back then.
Alright, so is Castle of Illusion, for example, a licensed game?
Yeah,
Yes,
because that was made by Sega.
Oh, that wasn't made by Disney Interactive. Okay.
Does this game have a sequel?
Or you
I
could
think
clarify and
so.
ask if it's part of his. Okay. I was gonna say, ask
I'm
if
pretty
it's
sure
part
it
of
doesn't. Let me just quickly just double check. I'm 99% sure it does not. Unless I'm missing something in the wiki, it definitely doesn't.
Where was that game like Joe and Mac? Where was that made?
Yeah, that definitely had sequels though.
Yeah, that had plenty.
I'm pretty sure that was Japan anyway.
I'm just really struggling to think of games that fit the mold. I'm trying to think of side scrollers where you have weapons. And like even weapons, I'm just thinking like either like just shooting stuff or like, you know, you have a club or a sword or something like that.
Yeah. So my biggest
Probably
issue is every
like
time I think of something, I'm like, oh yeah, oh no, that's a license. Like I was thinking Lethal Weapon, that's the license. And I'm Batman, oh that's a license.
I'll ask a clarification. In terms of weapons, Michael, does the game does the main character primarily use like a melee weapon?
That's hard to answer.
Okay, all right. Does it primarily use?
I
a
mean,
shooting
I would
weapon?
say like when I'm talking about weapons, I'm not talking about like anything like weird. Like it is the normal weapons that you would find in like a game.
It's not half of an octopus, okay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just trying to think. Like, are you shooting stuff, or are you going up to things and hitting them? That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
if you
trying
want to ask that question, you can. Like, if you want to clarify that,
Yes. Okay. So, do you shoot things in this game primarily?
you can shoot things in this game. Oh.
Okay. All right. Take away primarily. I'll just,
Yeah.
You can shoot things. Okay. All right. We'll just
Okay.
take that. That was on me. All right. You can shoot things. Blaster Master, but that was like an NES game, right?
Also,
Yeah.
100%
Six-
developed in Japan.
Yeah.
Six
no,
questions
yeah,
and a guess
I'm
left.
just trying to suggest games. No one's saying games.
So every time I think of a game, I'm like, what did Activision make? I'm like, oh, as far as I'm aware, they were doing licensee sort of stuff back then. They weren't doing anything special.
Oh, they're doing sports games as well.
JD Phoenix is going to be so proud of himself because this is like a genuinely. Oh wait, hold on a minute. Holy shit! I didn't check if this has been done.
No, I think.
Um,
I mean,
My one
fine,
thing. Where's the list? Do we pin it?
yeah, it's at the bottom of the.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
what about like
Oh my God.
Lost Vikings or something?
Mm.
Can you shoot in that?
No, there's no shooting in that.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
You
we've not
can't
done
even
it.
shoot like a. You
Oh
can't
no,
even shoot
sorry.
arrows or anything.
One's got a sword, one's got a bow, one's got a shield.
We've not done it, so I'm good.
Okay.
But that had a sequel anyway. The sequel was on PS1, but it had a sequel.
Ooh. Could it be Earthworm Jim?
That had
Yeah.
sequels.
Oh, it did too.
Alright.
Yeah. Fuck.
Has this game?
I'm just reading further into this. The game does have a sequel. This is my bad.
Okay.
It is like very. Yeah, it's just very not obvious in the article.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely not Earthworm Jim then, because everyone knows that had sequels.
Well, not me. But, yeah.
I mean, Earthworm Jim and Earthworm Jim 2, but they're also inside the Super Nintendo app.
Yeah,
Two's
there was
in-
also
two's in
like
Super
a
Nintendo 3's
N60.
in-
There's also
Yeah.
an N64 game, like so. It's a series.
What's that? Jeez.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then they
I
tried
like
doing a
that.
That was
fourth
a
one
one
on
and done
that
like jazz.
weird console that never took off. And not the Wii U. Has this game been re-released in any form of collection since its initial release?
Yes.
Okay. So it could be something from like an Activision, because they had like an Activision's Greatest Hits collection.
Tell us some games, Luke.
I just don't know
That's the
any
thing.
Activision games from back then.
We can't even use the hack because we haven't mentioned anything.
Oh god.
Was this game developed by an American studio?
It was.
Okay.
Just
It could be Lost Vikings.
just clarifying, are we calling American studio just USA or North America? This is for Angelo.
Up to you.
Lost Vikings is an interesting one because, like, yeah, it has a sequel. I feel like that would be
Oh, I forget.
mentioned on the page.
I keep
though.
forgetting.
No, well, most people don't
Sorry,
know.
Like, I
it
don't-
is okay. Let me clarify. This is my bad because I just missed it. It is mentioned on the page. It is literally 7 words. Like the article is long and I just missed the 7 words where it mentioned a sequel.
I mean, it could be, but Blizzard made Lost Vikings and then Interplay made Lost Vikings 2. Blizzard weren't involved in that one, which is why it didn't make it into the arcade collection. But then again, that is that Blizzard. Is this game made by Blizzard?
Game is made by Blizzard.
Oh, boys. Is there another Super Nintendo game that they made that had shooting?
No.
Or you could shoot?
They didn't make it. The Super Nintendo. Oh no, there was another.
I can give you a freebie. There is definitely another game that they made that has shooting on SNES.
Yeah. I was about to say no. There's. This is when they were making like sort of I say generic, but just like more traditional genre games before they went to Warcraft and Starcraft.
But was it a well-received game? Is it as well-received as Lost Vikings was? Is it memorable enough?
I mean, I couldn't tell. I don't remember it.
I mean, yeah, I would say clearly not.
Yeah, I want to say it's Lost Vikings.
Does this game?
Okay, well, we can do the meta question.
We can just ask. Does this game require the players?
You have 3 questions and a guess, so you can either do a couple more questions in the meta question, or you have the meta question now. It's up to you.
I mean, my question would be: are there multiple playable characters in this game?
There are multiple playable characters in this game.
I think if we ask the meta question, it also includes the one that we've mentioned that was the other game that was made by Blizzard, which
we haven't said the name because we don't know what it is.
We haven't said it by name because we don't know what it is.
Oh, okay. But if you said, have we mentioned the game? Like, that's literally a mention of the game.
I mean, you can just ask, have you mentioned the name of the game? And it just completely clears that problem up.
Yeah, that clears it up.
until Michael's answer to that question is no, and then we'll go, fuck.
It's up to you guys.
I mean, you have 2 questions and a guess. Like, you don't want to be... You can just not waste questions.
Have we said the name of the game?
You have.
There we go. So yeah.
It's Lost Vikings. Okay, thank God.
Okay.
This is up to Angelo to ask if it is that game because he's the one who can.
Oh no, it's Lost Vikings. Yeah, let's do it. Go.
Oh, sorry, that's the guess. Okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying. I
Sorry,
guess it's Lost Vikings. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. The game released in the Super Nintendo in April of 1993 and was developed by the then known Silicon and Synapse, which is now known as Blizzard. The game follows 3 Vikings, Eric the Swift, Balog the Fierce, and Olaf the Stout, as they get kidnapped by Tomator, the emperor of an alien empire. They are able to quickly escape the ship, but they get lost in various periods of time, and they must traverse bizarre locations and eventually confront and defeat the evil emperor and find their way home. This game is The Lost Vikings.
Can you imagine if it was actually the Lost Vikings 2?
The sheer panic when you guys mentioned The Lost Vikings and then Luke mentioned it had a sequel, and I'm like, shit. It's literally, I'm reading the part right now. It's in the second paragraph of the wiki article. It's literally 7 words.
Yeah,
and I just completely missed it.
It was released in 97.
Oh my God.
I did not know Blizzard re-released Lost Vikings on GBA.
Yeah.
And
they usually, like, when a game has a sequel or like a movie has a sequel, it has that in the little side little part where it goes next game, and it just doesn't have it. So I was like scrolling through the articles, like, did someone mention the sequel? I didn't see it. I should have just searched the word sequel.
Yeah. I'm just chuffed because it's one that I finally got. Like, usually,
Luke
or like you guys usually get the name. But like, yeah, if anyone's,
it was a good game.
If anyone's interested in learning more about that game, definitely listen to the audiobook of or read the book of called Play Nice by Jason Schreier that released just under a year ago. It's all about the history of Blizzard.
It just got a paperback version of it last week. So it was hard.
Yeah, I don't think
paperback.
Well, I don't think it's been distributed in Australia.
No. So just in the US, it just got the paperback. So
right.
So
get it on Kindle or get an audiobook version on Audible or something like that.
Or if you have a local bookstore, a lot of them are capable of importing books. It does cost a little bit of money, but it is something you can do. I've done it before dozens of times. So yeah, speak to your local bookstore. It is a very, very good book. If you're even remotely interested in Blizzard or the history of gaming as a whole, it is a really, really interesting read.
I need to issue a correction too. I said that Lost Vikings 2 wasn't developed by Blizzard. It was, but only for the Super Nintendo. Beam Software here in Melbourne did the Sega version, which is what I was thinking of, and the PlayStation version.
There you go. Alrighty. Well, that about wraps up this episode of the Vookcast. We will try to stick to a proper schedule in the future, but we'll see how it goes. we're trying. We are trying our hardest. It's just life gets in the way, you know. So be sure to visit the site Vookcast.net for all your Nintendo news, reviews, and everything in between. To keep up to date, follow us on Blue Sky, which is at Vookcast.net. I'll jump on over to our Discord at bit.ly/VooksDiscord. You can find all of our social information and links for all of these stories covered in this episode in the episode notes on whatever platform you're listening to. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in the next show.
And I look forward to learning about the next Direct that's going to be announced in 48 hours from now.